Picture the absolute dawn of creation, right? We usually imagine these supreme creator gods just stepping out of the void, fully formed, totally ready to build the cosmos. But what if, before the universe even began, the creators themselves were completely in the dark about their own origins? Just imagine being the literal architects of the universe, yet having absolutely no clue how you actually came to be. Well, today, in this explainer, we're diving into a deeply hidden story that reveals the ultimate source of, well, everything. So here's the big question. Who is the mother of Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahadev? Now, if you're familiar with these ancient traditions, you know the Trimurti, Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, and Shiva the destroyer. They're universally recognized as the absolute pinnacle of cosmic power. They are the beginning, the middle, and the end. But the source material we're looking at today sets up this brilliant cosmic whodunit, because long before the first stars ever flickered on, these three magnificent deities were sitting in the vast emptiness, completely unaware of how they were born, and wondering, wait, who is the absolute greatest power in this entire universe? You might be wondering, where exactly does a wild story like this come from? Well, our journey today is sourced directly from an incredibly profound ancient text called the Devi Bhagavata Purana. And what makes this text so special is that it holds a secret that honestly very few people know. Because while a lot of traditional texts focus heavily on the masculine deities, the Devi Bhagavata Purana is all about the supreme, overarching role of the divine feminine, Adi Shakti. It completely flips the script on the origins of the cosmos. So we're pulling back the curtain today on a deeply held cosmic secret about the true nature of ultimate power. Okay, so picture this. The three gods are standing in the cosmic void, questioning their very existence. Then, boom, the inciting incident. First, this immense, unearthly, divine light just instantly floods the entire universe. It wipes out the darkness in a flash. Next, echoing through all of infinite space, this heavenly voice, an Akashvani rings out. And then it delivers this really simple but undeniable command. Come to Dwipa. Just take a second to feel the weight of that. The supreme gods of the universe are suddenly being summoned by a totally unrecognized voice, commanding them to travel to a place they don't even know. Now, we've all heard of Swarga, right? Traditional heaven, the ultimate realm of reward in these texts. But that mysterious voice, it didn't summon them to heaven. It summoned them to Dvipa. And according to the Devi Bhagavata Purana, Dvipa is this hidden, top-tier realm vibrating with an energy that is far, far superior to traditional heaven. It's literally higher than any known paradise. So for the Trimurti, getting an invitation to a place that actually outranks heaven must have been totally mind-blowing. It really builds this massive anticipation. They absolutely had to find out what or who was waiting for them there. So our three deities set off on this incredible cosmic road trip. And when they finally reach the borders of Dvipa, they're met with this jaw-dropping sight. Massive, towering, golden doors. But it wasn't just the sheer visual majesty that stopped them in their tracks. As the mighty Tridev approached these giant gates, their steps literally halted, like they physically could not move forward. Why? Because the energy radiating from this place was just so thick, so overwhelmingly powerful, that it completely paralyzed the absolute greatest gods in the universe. They knew, instantly, that whatever was on the other side possessed a power that completely dwarfed their own. Eventually, pushing through that incredibly dense aura, they finally crossed the threshold. And walking through those massive golden doors meant stepping directly into an infinite, endless ocean of light. Imagine the contrast here. You go from the dark, pre-creation void, right through these golden gates, into a space that is just bursting with brilliant, uncontainable light. The text actually notes that the second they crossed over, the whole atmosphere shifted. It was a completely different vibe, and it surprised even the creators themselves. They had officially stepped into the absolute highest realm in existence. Slowly, the Trimurti move forward, squinting as their eyes adjust to the sheer brilliance. And there, sitting on this magnificently divine throne, is Mata Lalita Tripura Sundari. The Devi Bhagavata Purana really goes out of its way here to emphasize just how majestic she looked. Her aura, this radiant, glowing energy pouring out from her form, was so intensely bright that it literally made the physical sun look pale and dim by comparison. It was just an absolute vision of supreme, unmatched divinity. The creators were finally staring face to face with the ultimate source. Now, you would probably expect these all-powerful gods to just stand there, tall and stoic, right? But check out what happens next. The moment he sees her majestic form on the throne, tears just immediately fill Lord Vishnu's eyes. It's this sudden, incredibly deep emotional reaction that really anchors the massive cosmic scale of this story into something human and raw. Meanwhile, Brahma and Mahadev whip their heads around to look at Vishnu in pure shock. I mean, they are completely stunned. Why in the world is the great preserver of the universe breaking down in tears at the sight of the supreme goddess? Fighting through his tears, Vishnu turns to the others and shares this memory from way, way before the current creation. He says, during the Mahapralaya, which is the great cosmic dissolution, when the entire universe was submerged in water and I was a small boy floating on a banyan leaf, she was the mother who protected me. Just let that sink in for a second. Vishnu suddenly remembers a past cycle of absolute destruction where he was totally vulnerable. He was just a little kid surrounded by this terrifying, endless flood. And in that terrifying moment of cosmic deluge, it was this exact goddess, Mata Tripura Sundari, who acted as his mother and kept him safe. It is a massive, massive revelation. In that split second, everything just clicked into place for the Trimurti. First off, they finally had their answer. The creators didn't just magically appear out of thin air. They were actually born from another, much higher power. Second, they realized exactly who that supreme power was. Adi Shakti, the Jagat Janani, Mata Tripura Sundari, the literal mother of the universe. And third, and honestly this is the biggest takeaway for our understanding of this ancient philosophy, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahadev learned that day that the absolute first power of the entire universe is in fact feminine. This is a huge philosophical shift. It completely recenters how the origins of life and cosmic power are mapped out in the Devi Bhagavata Purana. So, we've just walked through this absolutely stunning narrative where the ultimate architects of reality discover that their creator, their protector, is a divine mother. Which brings us to this. If the absolute first power of the universe is a mother, how does that change our view of creation? Doesn't it kind of shift the whole way we look at the balance of energy, nature, and existence itself? It's a totally worldview-shifting concept from a really profound text, and honestly, it's one absolutely worth exploring deeper. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.